If you are a human being, the very thing that you've committed yourself to is the procreation of the species. If you do not save your children by placing on the table right now that you can be proud of turning to your children to and say, I did this, not large, small and discreet, in order that the footprint, the heavy footprint that I leave behind, might be gentler for you to walk through. That is the criticalness of the invitation right now. Because if we do not do that, we will leave behind a depleted universe for our children and our children for their children. And that's a human tragedy as I see it. I had one of those seminal discussions with Ian where time stands still and you have a synchronicity of ideas about the imagination, about dreaming, about the world and how we navigate our way through the world. We don't navigate our way through the world by thinking. We navigate our way through the world by dreaming.
Ngobelwani actually represents not only the elephant and the other animals and the birds and everything, but she, being a matriarch, also represents the mystery. And Africa has always been a country of great mystery. The Romans put it best, ex Africa semper aliquid novi. Out of Africa, always something new. Why don't we sit on the bench here?
That's a very nice idea. When I thought about the conversation between creativity and visual creativity and the earth, there was one person kept coming to mind. A person who had walked and enabled and held something before I even dreamed of it. And that was Ian Player.
When I looked into the eyes of the elephant, I saw the earth god, or in fact, goddess. There was a very deep connection that took place. What is so wonderful about this place where we live, as while we've been sitting here, is these cuckoos which come down from Central Africa every year. But there are other species that are going because we humans have just taken up far too much space. So for me, Ngobelwani carries a big message. I need space. And I need space for all the other creatures with whom I live. And you, too, the humans, are part of it. But you've taken too much.
Elephants seem to me to be a very petulant and ponderous reminder of that troubled relationship that we have with the earth. Okay. Because human beings have a penchant also for yearning for beauty. So the elephants on the one hand appeal to a massive imposition of beauty and the sense of wonder. I think that when we were kids, we were imbued with a sense of wonder. The elephants allow adults even to have a sense of wonder about what they are. So that's firstly and foremostly a very important part of the message of the elephant. It's a distressed world where in fact a metaphor of beauty and wonder presents itself as a moment to contemplate a number of other issues which are potential and inherent to the human condition.
See, the elephant is a pathfinder. Wherever you go in Africa, the original roads were made by the elephant. And so I see Ngobelwani now as a 21st century pioneer. She is making a new track. And in making that track, she's touching people all the way along the piece and reminding them that this is where, that it is from Africa that we all came originally. And then we started on our migrations. But on our migrations, the first thing that we did was to follow the elephant path because they found the easy way. And so I see Ngobelwani as an emissary for the 21st century, leading a new path to a greater understanding between ourselves and the wild world and the importance of Africa.
I think what is important is that a number of people interdisciplinary people from trade and industry, from the sciences, from the arts, have already began to talk about the elephants and this idea of interrogating what is the idea of multiple and inclusive conversations. The foundation will move these elephants around the world as catalysts to these conversations. I'd like to place an elephant on either side of the wall that separates Israel and Palestine, and have them just leaning against that wall till such time as the wall is removed, or they find a basis for that wall to be removed. In the meantime, the elephants can just wait. And they can petulantly remind us of the urgency for that problem to be solved. That's like one type of interaction. Another type of interaction is that elephants can go into a number of spaces. They don't have to be the highly charged space of the museum or the gallery. They can be the shopping mall. As long as the context defines the nature with which the message of the elephant can be heard, which is about environment, sustainability, and human tolerance.
But when you looked at people coming up to her, it's hard to describe exactly the impact. But from a psychological point of view, there is no doubt that the elephant touched the archetype. It was an archetypal experience that they were having, and one could see the expression on their faces as they walked up to it, and particularly the younger people touched it, and the Zulu people, you know, when they are surprised, they go howl. And I watched this happening. So this animal then became alive. She's alive.
The world will rise or fall on the ability for people to speak and to be heard. And in the speaking and the hearing, new things are put on the table. We are appealing to people in front of a massively creative icon that is riddled and embodied with imagination, to come to the table with creativity and imagination as a pretext to solving a pragmatic problem that they can possibly influence and change. Secondly, I don't expect people to solve global problems. I expect them to solve the problems in their own home, in their own backyard. I don't expect them to play on the global stage. I'm inviting them to play on the home stage, on the intimate stage, on the loved and the beloved stage, where everything is at stake.